When you spend a bunch of time around high-achieving students, you tend to see a lot of familiar faces. You see them in college-level classes, at athletic and fine arts events, in homecoming videos and on the stage at talent shows, and on committees, councils, and boards. They're just as often working tirelessly behind the scenes, planning many annual events, volunteering in the community, and supporting students and staff all year long. In this episode of Senior Spotlight, we travel to Roosevelt High School, where one student seems to be everywhere, and it is generally believed that he'll be able to end up anywhere. It's right there in the mission of the Sioux Falls School District, to educate and prepare each student to succeed in a changing world. So in a universe of constant flux, it's always nice to see some consistency, like the seating chart in Roosevelt High School's AP Physics 2 class. Our first Senior Spotlight of the year featured Matt Gehring, whose table partner Daunte Phung is our newest. One of many examples of Dante's face being one you're likely to see here and anywhere something is happening for Roosevelt High School.
His place in the school is he wants to be involved. He wants to be out there. He wants kids to know that he's involved. He wants kids to know that he knows what's going on. So if they maybe have a question or if they have something, they could maybe talk to him and say, I noticed that you did this. Maybe you could help me with this.
Let's get fired up! We are fired up! Let's get fired up! We are fired up! Let's get fired up! We are fired up! Hoorah! 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 Yeah!
Throughout his high school career, you could find Dante here. And as a senior, he leads these crowds as a crucial member of the Roosevelt High School football team's indispensable 12th man.
Back deep for Sioux Falls Lincoln in number 11.
I usually lead the cheers and chants. It's part of being a senior, trying to get the crowd a little hyped for the team.
As you might expect, a student who is taking Advanced Placement Physics 2 is also taking some other advanced classes, and in this case, you'd be right. Dante actually starts his academic day here, at Augustana University's FSC, where he's taking Calculus 2. That's the next step above Advanced Placement Calculus, which he successfully completed as a junior.
It's a college class, so it's definitely a lot harder, more challenging, and you don't get as much attention from the teacher, I'd say. And it's a lot faster paced, but it's been going well.
After that, he arrives at Roosevelt High School to peer tutor in AP Calculus.
So I come and I just help during the work time. When Mr. Waltner gives out a worksheet, I help students with questions they have. A lot of my friends are in it, so I enjoy having classes with them, and I just felt like it was a good opportunity to help some students too with something that I'm good at.
Then he moves on to more classes he's good at.
And then I go to AP Physics and then Stats, and then I have lunch and I'm done. It's not as bad as it was last year. Last year I had, I think, 4 AP classes. I was in Spanish 4.
And as we've already seen, on top of a considerable load of college-level classes, Dante keeps himself busy. He's been a fixture of student council for all 4 years.
Student council kind of does it all. We take care of the student body, we take care of the staff and the teachers here. We plan homecoming, we plan winter formal, we do a lot of volunteering opportunities in the winter and then again in the spring. So just a lot of things to take care and build our community. So Dante has been in student council, it's a senior year, so he's been in it throughout his high school experience. This year in particular, he was placed on the board as Sergeant at Arms, so he takes care of taking roll whenever we meet and just kind of making sure everyone's in attendance. And then he also attends our board meetings, which is once a month, and those just kind of level up the accountability and the things that maybe the rest of the council doesn't get to see or doesn't take care of. He is one of those members that helps take care of those types of things.
As a senior, as a homecoming royalty candidate, as a student council board member, as a major fixture in the homecoming talent show, he had to be in a lot of places at once.
Homecoming for me was definitely really hectic this year because I was in student council and we're planning stuff. We're planning the whole week, and then I was in the talent show too. And then, so I was jumping from talent show, and then I had to change into my tux and all that stuff. And it was just a pretty hectic day.
First of all, thank you for coming tonight. You're welcome. So, tell me, Ariana, how have you been? I'm just fine. Good. So, what's Ariana Grande's next hit song gonna be?
Well, it's gonna be something a little bit different. It's gonna be a mix of a little bit of pop rock, some classical music, and a hint of rap. And I think I might call it Slobbity Shwibbity Holla Holla, featuring Lil Nas X.
This year in particular with homecoming, and since he's a senior, it's very easy with senior year to kind of take a step back, to just coast. But I was really impressed with how Dante stepped up during homecoming. He had to be gone for a lot of the meetings, but he would come in on his own time. He'd come in after school. He'd make sure that he was keeping good communication with all the board members, taking extra time outside of his day to make sure that he was covering everything that needed to be done, and did so with a smile, with some humor added in there. And so he made it enjoyable to work through all of those sometimes stressful and chaotic times of homecoming.
Please welcome to the stage, Evan Eilers and Caleb Smith singing Wonderwall.
Stepping up and stepping in are common attributes ascribed to him. In addition to what we've already mentioned, he's a member of National Honor Society and Science National Honor Society, meaning he's a major part of volunteer projects throughout the year and helping with Saturday school and tutoring students. He's a member of Best Buddies at Roosevelt High School, which brings together students with and without disabilities to form friendships and bonds. It means he fills a lot of roles, and he does it in a way that no one else could.
So Dante is fun. He brings a lot of energy. He's usually the comedian in the group. He's usually someone who's lifting all of our spirits and having us chuckle along the way. So I would say Dante definitely brings the fun element, but he also has a lot of dedication to his academics and especially challenging himself. I know that he's taking some classes over at Augustana, and so he definitely has always pushed himself to be the best version academically, and through student council has been a great role model for other Rough Riders. I think he's just a stand-up guy. He's really dedicated to being fun, to be around others, to build others up, but he also takes on responsibility, especially when it's easy to take that step back as a senior role.
He has no plans to take a step back. All those advanced math and science classes are leading in a very distinct direction, one he's perfectly suited for.
He's outstanding. He thinks outside the box. So mathematically speaking, he appreciates and he likes to do things a little differently. So if we take notes or we have things that we're doing, he processes those very quickly and automatically thinks outside the box and maybe asks a question that maybe other kids aren't thinking about. So almost to the next level. It's wonderful. I think it starts other kids thinking about what he asked, or maybe even off on a different tangent about maybe some things that we just talked about or covered, could have been 5 minutes ago or last week. So it just adds depth to whatever we're discussing. The math brain, in my mind, is something different that a lot of kids, even though maybe they're taking an AP class or an AP math class, or even like an Algebra 2 or pre-calc class, they might be good at math, and that's wonderful, but to be able to think mathematically outside the box is truly a gift, and a lot of kids don't have that. So it really is special and not very common.
He credits his love of math and science to teachers he's had along the way who helped cultivate it.
Miss Pomeranke, who teaches at Jefferson now, Boo Jefferson, she was my geometry teacher when I was a freshman here, and she just having a good time in class, like in math class, definitely pushes you to want to go on and learn more. And I'd definitely say Miss Newitt too, also helped me find my passion for physics.
Senior year is one of enjoying moments, which Dante is obviously doing, but it's also a time for looking ahead.
Looking forward to graduation, not gonna lie, and then knowing where I'm, my next step in my educational path. Just knowing where I'm gonna go in the future is really exciting to me. Currently, I only applied to UNL so far, so right now. It's looking like UNL, but I'm planning on applying to Stanford and MIT and maybe U of M. I plan on majoring in mechanical engineering. I really enjoy physics and calculus, which is like the two biggest things in engineering, like two biggest subjects probably. And I really like this guy on YouTube named Mark Rober. He's a mechanical engineer from USC, and he does a lot of cool experiments, and I just thought that it seemed like a lot of fun. And he worked at NASA, which is like my dream job.
Goals that, according to the people who know him best, are well within reach.
And he's just a wonderful young man, personable, sarcastic, witty, and truly loves a challenge. Very fun, very fun. Sometimes have to rein him in a little bit, but very fun to be around, yes.
I think he's going to obviously go off to some sort of post-education beyond high school. I think that he will continue challenging himself and will continue growing in his leadership abilities.
He can go anywhere. I think he's adaptable. I think that he is not afraid of a challenge. I think that he kind of thrives on one. So it can take him anywhere. I mean, he can do anything.